She said to her sister on speakerphone, "I'm training him. Soon he'll do whatever I want." She didn't know I was home early. I didn't interrupt. I just trained myself to want someone else. The panic in her eyes when she saw my packed bags. I, 32 male, came home early on a Thursday. Had a killer migraine, left work around 2 p.m. Cassie, 29, didn't expect me until 7. Opened the apartment door quietly, didn't want to wake her if she was napping. That's when I heard her voice from the bedroom, loud and clear. She was on speakerphone. "No, Mare, you don't get it. I'm training him, like literally training him." Cassie laughed. "Remember how he used to push back when I asked him to do stuff? Now he just does it." Her sister Meredith said something I couldn't quite hear. "Yeah, exactly. It's all about the system. You withdraw affection when they don't comply, reward them when they do. Ian's so desperate to make me happy that he'll do basically anything now. It's kind of pathetic but also convenient." I stood frozen in the hallway. 3 years together. Lived together for 18 months. Give it another few months, and I'll have him exactly where I want him. He's already doing all the cooking, cleaning, even makes my coffee in the morning how I like it. Dude works 50 hours a week and still comes home to handle everything. Meanwhile, I've been looking for the right job for 8 months? Meredith's response was muffled, but Cassie laughed again. "Please, he's not going anywhere. Where would he go? He's invested." Sunk cost fallacy. Plus, I've got him convinced that no one else would put up with his workaholic tendencies. Honestly, once you understand male psychology, they're easy to manage. I backed out of the apartment, closed the door silently. Sat in my car for maybe 20 minutes, just processing. 3 years. I thought we were partners. Turns out I was a project. Here's the thing. Cassie was right about some of it. I did do most of the housework. I did make her coffee every morning. I did work long hours and still handle the grocery shopping, meal prep, laundry, but I thought I was being a good partner, thought we were building something together. Instead, she'd been running psychological experiments on me, like I was a lab rat. I drove around for an hour, grabbed coffee, sat in a parking lot and made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her, wasn't going to argue or fight or try to make her see how messed up this was. People like that don't change. They just get better at hiding it. I was going to do exactly what she accused me of being too invested to do. Leave, but methodically, carefully, the way you dismantle something you built. Got home around 5, acted normal. She was watching TV, barely looked up when I came in. "Hey babe, you're home early." Migraine got better, figured I'd work from home tomorrow instead. "Oh, can you make that pasta thing for dinner? The one with the sun-dried tomatoes?" "Sure," I made the pasta. We ate. She talked about her day, some drama with her friend group. I nodded, responded at appropriate times. Inside, I was already gone. That night, lying next to her, I planned. Our lease was in both names, up for renewal in 3 months. I'd been hesitant about renewing, wanted to look for a bigger place, maybe buy something. Cassie kept saying we should wait. Now I understood why. Easier to keep someone manageable when they don't have roots. I had enough saved for a solid deposit on my own place. My name was on all the utilities. The furniture was mostly mine from before we moved in together. Started the next day. During my lunch break, I looked at apartments. Found a decent 1-bedroom about 20 minutes away. Filled out an application, got approved by Wednesday. Didn't tell Cassie. Instead, I started pulling back. Not dramatically. That would tip her off. Just slowly reducing my effort. Stopped making her coffee in the morning. When she asked why, I said I was running late. Started meal prepping only my own lunches. When she noticed, I said I was trying a new diet plan and didn't want to force it on her. "You've been acting weird," she said after about a week. "Just stressed with work." "Well, don't take it out on me. I need you present in this relationship, Ian." "I'm here. Are you though?" I looked at her. Really looked at her, saw the calculation in her eyes. She was running through her playbook, trying to figure out which manipulation would work. The guilt trip, the accusation, the tears. "I'm here," I repeated, "just tired." She softened, came over to hug me. "I know, babe, you work so hard. Maybe we should plan a weekend away? Just us?" Maybe. Over the next 3 weeks, I systematically prepared. Opened a new bank account at a different bank, started having my paycheck split, keeping just enough in our shared expenses account to cover my half of rent and utilities. Rerouted all my personal bills, went through the apartment, made a mental inventory of what was mine. Bought boxes, kept them in my trunk. Started reconnecting with friends. Cassie had slowly edged out of my life. Guys from college, coworkers I'd stopped hanging out with because Cassie always had plans for us or needed me home. "Where are you going?" she'd ask when I said I had plans. "Basketball with Greg." "You haven't played basketball in like a year." "Yeah, been too long. Should be fun." Her face would tighten. She didn't like it, but she couldn't quite figure out how to stop it without showing her hand. Called the landlord, told him we wouldn't be renewing. He was cool about it, said he appreciated the notice. Cassie's name was on the lease too, so she'd get the notification, but that was fine. By the time she did, I'd be gone. The shift in me was real. Wasn't even forced. Once you see someone for who they really are, you can't unsee it. Every "I love you" from her felt like a lie. Every touch felt manipulative. I was polite, cordial, but the emotional connection? Dead. "Are you seeing someone else?" she asked one night, about 5 weeks after the speakerphone conversation. "No, you're different, you're distant. Just focused on work, big project coming up." "You're lying." Her voice had an edge now. "I can tell when you're lying." "I'm not seeing anyone else, Cassie, I'm just tired." She tried a different tack, started being extra affectionate. Cooked dinner twice, badly, but she tried. Suggested we watch my favorite show. Initiated intimacy more frequently. I went through the motions. But inside, I was counting down days. Lease ended on the 31st. I planned to move on the 29th, a Saturday. Took the day off work, told Cassie I had to go in for an emergency project. Instead, I went to my new apartment, did the walkthrough, got the keys. Then I went home at 3 p.m. and started packing. Update 1. She came home around 4:30. I heard her key in the lock, her footsteps. Then silence. I was in the bedroom, loading clothes into boxes. My clothes. Had already packed my books, my gaming console, my kitchen stuff I'd brought into the relationship. "Ian?" Her voice was uncertain. "What are you doing?" I looked up. "Packing. I can see that." "Why?" "I'm moving out." Her face went through about 5 emotions in 3 seconds. Confusion, disbelief, anger, panic, then this calculated calm. "Very funny. What's this actually about?" "This is about me leaving. Lease is up in 2 days. I'm not renewing." "We didn't discuss this. You can't just decide." "I can actually, and I did." "Ian, stop." She used her soft voice, the one that used to work. "Whatever's going on, we can talk about it. This is insane. You're being impulsive." "I'm being deliberate actually. Been planning this for 6 weeks." That landed. Her expression changed. 6 weeks? What happened 6 weeks ago? "I came home early, heard you on speakerphone with Meredith, the training conversation." All the color drained from her face. "That was, I didn't mean." "You meant it, and you were right about some of it. I was trained, I was doing everything while you did nothing, but you were wrong about one thing." "What?" "You said I was too invested to leave. Turns out, once you realize someone sees you as a project instead of a partner, it's pretty easy to check out." She switched tactics fast, the tears came. "Ian, please. I was just venting to my sister. I didn't mean any of that. You know how sisters talk, we exaggerate." "Don't. I'm not doing this." I went back to packing. "Where are you going? Got my own place? You got an apartment? Without telling me?" "Yep. This is insane. You can't just abandon me. We live together. We have a life." "You have a life. I had an arrangement where I worked and did housework while you found yourself." "That's not fair." "You're right. It wasn't fair. That's why I'm leaving." She started crying harder. "I love you. We can fix this. I'll change." "Cassie, you told your sister you were training me like a dog. There's nothing to fix. We're done." "You're being cruel. After 3 years, you're just throwing us away." "I'm not throwing anything away. There was no us. There was you managing me." I kept packing. She kept crying, pleading, occasionally switching to anger. I ignored all of it. Took me about 3 more hours to get everything sorted. My friend Greg showed up with his truck around 7. "Dude," he said quietly when he saw Cassie's face. "You good?" "Yeah, I'm good." We loaded boxes. Cassie followed us around, alternating between begging and yelling. At one point she tried to grab a box, said half the stuff was ours and I couldn't take it. I pulled up receipts on my phone, showed her the purchase dates. Before we lived together, she backed off. By 10 p.m., I was done. Apartment was mostly empty of my stuff. I left the furniture we'd bought together. A couch, a coffee table. Everything else was mine, and it was gone. Ian, please. One last try at the door. Don't do this. We can go to counseling. We can work on things. No, we can't, because you don't think there's anything to work on. You think you found a system that works. Good luck with that, but I'm out. You'll regret this. No one else is going to deal with your workaholism. You're going to realize what you gave up. Maybe. But at least I'll be with someone who sees me as a person. I left, went to my new apartment. Greg helped me unload, ordered pizza, cracked open beers. That was intense, he said. Yeah. You okay? Getting there. Spent that first night in my new place on an air mattress, surrounded by boxes. Weirdly peaceful. No one to manage my emotions for. No one evaluating my behavior. Just me. Cassie started texting around midnight. 33 messages in 2 hours. Started with apologies, moved to promises, ended with anger. Blocked her around 2 a.m. Next day, Sunday, Meredith called. I answered, curious about what script they'd come up with. Ian, it's Meredith. Cassie told me what happened. Did she tell you I heard your conversation? The training one? Silence. That was taken out of context. There's no context that makes that okay, Meredith. Look, my sister loves you. She's devastated. Can you just talk to her? No. You're being childish. Relationships take work. You don't just bail when things get hard. Things weren't hard. Things were unbalanced. Big difference. She's a mess right now. How can you be so cold? Tell your sister good luck with her next training project. We're done here. I hung up, blocked her too. The entitlement was unreal. They genuinely thought I should come back because Cassie was upset. Like her feelings mattered, but mine didn't. Like overhearing someone plot to manipulate you was something you just get over. Nah. I was done. Update 2. First week was quiet. Too quiet. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. It dropped on day 9. Cassie showed up at my office. Security called up, asked if I wanted her sent up. I said no. She tried to push past, apparently, and they had to escort her out. My boss caught wind of it, pulled me aside. Everything okay? Security said your ex tried to force her way up? Yeah, sorry about that. Going through a breakup. She's having trouble accepting it. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. No problem. Just wanted to check. Let us know if you need anything. That night, Cassie was waiting by my car in the parking garage. This is borderline stalking, I said. I just want to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Ian, please. I made a mistake. One stupid conversation with my sister and you're throwing away 3 years. It wasn't one conversation. It was your whole mindset. The conversation just showed me what you really thought. I'll prove it to you. I'll get a job. A real job. I'll do all the housework, whatever you want. I don't want anything from you, Cassie. That's the point. There's someone else, isn't there? That's why you're being like this. There's no one else. I just don't want to be with you. Her face twisted. You're pathetic. You know that? You're going to end up alone. No one's going to put up with you like I did. Probably right. Good thing I'd rather be alone than managed. I got in my car. She slapped the window, yelled something I couldn't hear. I drove away. Next came the family campaign. Her mom called. Her dad. Meredith again from a different number. All with variations of the same message. I was being unreasonable. Cassie made a mistake. Relationships require forgiveness. I was abandoning her when she needed me most. I kept my responses short. We're done. Please don't contact me again. Then blocked. The dirty trick came 2 weeks post-breakup. My landlord from the old place called. Hey Ian, got a problem. Cassie's saying you took stuff that belonged to both of you. She's asking me to help her get it back or she'll sue me for not protecting her property rights. Did she provide proof of ownership? No, just her word. I have receipts for everything I took. Want me to send them? Yeah, that'd be great. Just covering my bases. Sent him a whole folder. Screenshots of purchase confirmations, credit card statements, dates showing I bought everything before we lived together. He thanked me, said he'd handle it. Cassie tried a different angle next. Posted on social media a long, vague post about narcissistic partners and financial abuse and being left with nothing. Didn't name me, but anyone who knew us would know. I didn't respond. Didn't engage. Just kept living my life. Here's what she didn't expect. I was fine. Better than fine, actually. My apartment was smaller, but it was mine. I cooked when I wanted, cleaned on my schedule. Started playing basketball weekly with Greg and some guys. Picked up reading again. Slept better. About 3 weeks in, I ran into Dana. We'd worked together 2 years ago, stayed friendly but lost touch after I got serious with Cassie. Bumped into her at a coffee shop. Ian. Oh my God, how are you? We caught up. She'd switched companies, was doing well, single after her own relationship ended 6 months back. We exchanged numbers, said we should grab drinks sometime. We did. The following Thursday. Nothing romantic, just two people catching up. But it was easy, comfortable. She laughed at my jokes. I wasn't performing or managing or trying to be anything except myself. You seem different, she said, more relaxed than I remember. Yeah, went through some stuff recently, coming out the other side. Good stuff or bad stuff? Started bad. Ending good. We had drinks twice more over the next 2 weeks. Third time she kissed me. I kissed her back. It felt right. Uncomplicated. I should tell you, I said. I just got out of something, like a month ago. I know, your social media made it pretty clear. You saw Cassie's post? Everyone saw it. Most people saw through it too, if that helps. Doesn't hurt, Dana smiled. Look, no pressure. We can take this slow. I just like spending time with you. Same. That's when Cassie's spy network kicked in. One of her friends saw us at a bar. Reported back. Next day, my phone exploded. Texts from a new number. Unknown. So you did have someone else. You liar. Unknown. Been seeing her this whole time probably. Used me until you had something better lined up. You're disgusting. Everyone needs to know what kind of person you really are. I screenshot everything. Didn't respond. Called my buddy who's a lawyer. Asked about harassment laws. He said to document everything, send one cease and desist, then if it continued, we could pursue a restraining order. Sent a formal text. Cassie, this is harassment. We're broken up. Who I see is none of your business. Contact me again and I'll pursue legal action. She showed up at the bar Dana and I went to. Must have gotten the location from her friend. Dana and I were having dinner when Cassie walked in, saw us, and made a scene. Are you kidding me right now? She was loud. Everyone turned to look. I stayed calm. Cassie, you need to leave. You told me there was no one else. You lied to me. I didn't lie. There wasn't anyone when we broke up. What I do now isn't your concern. We broke up a month ago and you're already with someone? That's sick. Dana spoke up, voice level. Hi, I'm Dana. We actually just started seeing each other last week, but also, not sure how this is your business. It's my business because he was my boyfriend for 3 years. Was. Past tense. Maybe time to move on? Cassie turned on her. You don't even know him. He's a workaholic who'll ignore you for his job. Good luck with that. Thanks for the warning. I'll take my chances. The manager came over. Ladies, I need everyone to keep it down or I'll have to ask you to leave. I'm already leaving, Cassie said. Enjoy your rebound, Ian. Hope she enjoys being your maid. She stormed out. Dana looked at me. Your ex seems nice. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Sorry about that. Don't be. Kind of explains why you're still a little guarded. That obvious? Little bit. But I get it. Take your time. The fact that she was cool about it didn't make it a big dramatic thing. That meant everything. Update 3. Final. It's been 4 months since I left. Time for the final update because this needs to be closed out. Cassie didn't let up easy. After the bar incident, she tried a few more things. Week 6. Showed up at my apartment building. Building has security. They called me. I told them she wasn't welcome. They escorted her out. She screamed about how I was keeping her personal items. I wasn't, and she'd call the police. She didn't. Week 7. Her dad called my dad. Complained that I'd abandoned his daughter and stolen property. My dad, who never liked Cassie, told him to tell his daughter to move on. Then called me to make sure I was okay. Week 8. Posted on social media again. This time directly tagging me in a long post about narcissistic abuse and love bombing, then discarding. My friends defended me in the comments. I untagged myself and let it go. Week 10. Tried to friend request Dana on multiple platforms. Dana blocked her immediately and sent me screenshots of the requests. Your ex is persistent. I'll give her that. The thing that finally ended it wasn't legal action or a big confrontation. It was Cassie realizing she had no leverage. The apartment lease wasn't renewed. She had to move out. Heard through mutual friends, she moved back with her parents. The narrative she'd been spinning about financial abuse fell apart when people realized she'd been unemployed by choice for 8 months, while I funded everything. Her friends started distancing themselves after the bar scene. Apparently, making a public spectacle isn't a good look. The few who reached out to me got the real story. Overheard her saying she was training me, decided that wasn't a relationship I wanted, left. Most of them said some version of, "Yeah, that sounds like something she'd say." Dana and I kept seeing each other. Took it slow like she suggested. She never pushed, never demanded, never manipulated, just showed up as herself and let me show up as myself. Novel concept. 3 months in, we had dinner at her place. Halfway through, she said, "You know you can relax around me, right? I'm not keeping score." I know. Do you though? Because sometimes you still act like you're being evaluated. I thought about it, working on it. 3 years of walking on eggshells doesn't go away overnight. Fair. Just want you to know, I like you as you are, not as whatever optimized version you think you should be. That meant more than she probably knew. Last I heard about Cassie, through the grapevine because I don't check on her, she's seeing someone new. Some guy she met online. Already living together after 2 months. Her social media shows them doing all these activities, her posting about finally finding someone who gets her. I don't feel vindicated or satisfied. Mostly I just feel bad for the guy. He's probably getting the same treatment I did. The training program. Maybe he'll figure it out faster than I did. Maybe he won't. Not my problem anymore. My life now, dating Dana seriously. We're taking a trip next month. Back in touch with all my friends, playing basketball weekly, reading more. Actually enjoying cooking again because I'm doing it for me, not to meet someone else's standards. The apartment's fully furnished now. Got a decent couch, a proper bed frame, filled the bookcases. It's not huge or fancy, but it's mine. No one's evaluating how I load the dishwasher or critiquing my grocery choices. Work's going well. Got a promotion last month. The focus I'd been putting into my relationship went back into my career. Turns out I'm pretty good at my job when I'm not emotionally exhausted. Someone asked me last week if I regretted how I handled it, leaving without a big confrontation, not trying to work it out. Nope, I said. Some things aren't fixable because they were never broken. They were built wrong from the start. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Cassie told Meredith I was a project to manage. That's who she was. Not who she became, not who the relationship made her. That's who she was all along. The training program worked both ways. She trained me to comply. I trained myself to leave. Only difference, my training actually stuck. I'm doing okay now? Better than okay. I'm happy. Not the performance of happiness to keep someone satisfied, actual, genuine contentment. That's what happens when you stop being someone's project and start being your own person again. To anyone in a similar situation, if your partner talks about you like you're something to manage rather than someone to love, that's not a relationship. That's a hostage situation with better decor. You can leave. It won't be easy, but it's worth it. Trust me on this one. Time to close this chapter. Got a life to live? That's actually mine. Peace. She said, "My therapist says your house is my safe space. You need to leave for a week." I nodded. I understand. Then I left and had the water, gas, and electricity shut off for emergency repairs. Her panicked texts about the cold started 3 hours later. I, 39 male, am still trying to figure out where the woman I loved went and when this changeling took her place. My girlfriend, Serena, 35, and I have been together for 2.5 years. For the last 18 months she's been living with me in the house I bought long before we met. It was good, easy, or so I thought. About 6 months ago, she started seeing a new therapist, Dr. Aris, and I mean she really started seeing him. Suddenly, our entire relationship dynamic was recontextualized through this lens of pop psychology buzzwords. If I forgot to take out the recycling, Mark, you're defaulting on your share of the emotional labor. It makes me feel unseen. If I wanted a quiet night in instead of going to her friend's party, I'm hearing a lot of avoidant energy from you. My boundaries require me to be around positivity, so I'm going without you. It was exhausting, but I tried to be supportive. Hey, if this guy is helping you, great. But I was the one paying for it. Literally. Her essential oils consulting business is more of a hobby that loses money. I cover the mortgage, the utilities, the car insurance, the groceries, her phone bill. She transfers me a few $100 here and there when she has a good month. Last night, she sat me down on the couch. She had that serene, beatific smile she gets right before she's about to say something completely unreasonable. "Mark," she said, her voice soft, "I had a major breakthrough with Dr. Eris today." "Oh yeah, that's great, honey. What about?" "About us. About this space." She gestured around my living room. "He agrees with me that for me to truly heal and find my authentic self, I need to establish a truly secure, safe space. A place where my energy isn't being judged or compromised." A cold feeling started in my stomach. "Okay, and what does that mean?" "It means," she said, putting her hand on my knee, "that my therapist says your house is my safe space, and to truly make it mine, you need to leave for a week." I just stared at her. "You want me to leave? My own house?" "Just for a week," she said, as if that made it reasonable. "Dr. Eris says it's crucial. I need to inhabit this space completely, cleanse it of our negative energetic buildup. You leaving is an act of love, Mark. It shows you respect my healing journey." "And where am I supposed to go?" "Trisha's cousin has an Airbnb you could get. Or a hotel. It's only 7 days. It will be good for you too. You can stay somewhere and reflect on your energy, on how you contribute to my anxiety." I looked at her, really looked at her. There wasn't a trace of doubt. She 100% believed this, believed she had the right to evict me from my own home. And in that second, something in me just snapped. The part of me that had been making excuses, the part that had been paying for her healing, it just went quiet, and a new, colder, much more logical part of me took over. I nodded slowly. "I understand." Her face lit up. "You do? Oh, Mark, thank you. This is so healthy for us." "I totally get it," I said, standing up. "You need your space. I'll go pack a bag." "You're the best," she cooed, already picking up her phone, probably to text her best friend Trish and Dr. Eris the good news. I went upstairs and packed a carry-on. Clothes for a week. My laptop. My important documents from the desk. I walked downstairs, kissed her on the forehead. "All right, the house is all yours. Do your energetic cleansing. I'll see you in a week." "This is going to be so healing," she chirped. I walked out the front door, got in my car, and drove to a nice extended stay hotel about 20 minutes away. Checked in, connected to the Wi-Fi, and got to work. First, I called the gas company. I used the automated system. Report a hazard. I reported a strong smell of rotten eggs in the basement near the furnace. They, as required by law, scheduled an immediate emergency shutoff. Second, I called the water company. "I'm the homeowner. I need an emergency shutoff. I have a major internal pipe burst." "Yes, right now. I'll handle the plumber. You just kill the main." Third, I logged into my electrical provider's website. I'm the account holder. I scheduled a vacation shutoff for maintenance. I set the date for 1 hour from now. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and ordered a club sandwich from room service. About 3 hours later, the texts started rolling in. I watched them appear on my lock screen. "Serena? Hey, the power just went out. Did you forget to pay the bill?" "Seriously, it's pitch black and the heat just clicked off. It's getting cold." "Mark, the water isn't working either. I can't even flush the toilet. What is going on?" "This isn't funny. I'm cold and I can't see anything. Call me. I know you're doing this. You're trying to punish me. This is psychotic. Turn it back on right now." I finished my sandwich. I sent one single reply. "Wow, that's crazy. Must be a massive neighborhood outage. So glad I'm at this hotel. Anyway, I'm turning my phone off to reflect like you suggested. Have a great week." Then I blocked her number. Update 1. Woke up this morning feeling rested. Which is wild, considering the mushroom cloud I knew was forming. I unblocked Serena's number just to see the damage. It was impressive. Dozens of missed calls and texts, each more frantic than the last. They culminated around 3 a.m. with, "I'm at Trisha's. You are a monster. My lawyer will be calling you." Then at 8 a.m. the real fun started. A call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. The message? "Mr. My last name, this is Officer Darden. We've received a wellness check request from a Miss Serena. She claims you've locked her out of her home and created an unsafe living situation. Please give me a call back." The sheer, unmitigated gall. She called the cops on me. I called him back immediately. Me, Officer Darden, this is Mark, my last name. I just got your message. Is everything okay? Sir, I'm here at your residence. Your girlfriend, Miss Serena, is here. She says you turned off all the utilities to punish her and she can't get inside. Wait, she's at the house? Is she insane? Officer, I had to leave yesterday because of a critical safety issue. The gas company red-tagged my furnace. I smelled gas and they shut it off immediately. Then my electrician said the main breaker box was sparking. It's a fire hazard. He shut off the main power. The whole house is unsafe. I'm at a hotel until the crews can fix it. Sparking? Me, yes, sir. I told Serena it was unsafe, that I was leaving, and that she needed to come with me. She's been under a lot of stress. She refused. She said she wanted to stay. I figured she'd leave when it got dark. I have no idea why she'd go back there. And the house is locked because it's a dangerous work site. The crews are scheduled for this afternoon. I could hear him turn away from the phone. Muffled talking. Officerina. Ma'am. He's saying the house is a fire hazard. He says he told you not to stay. Serena's voice. He's lying. He's doing this to control me. My therapist said he would. The officer got back on the phone. He sounded tired. Sir, this sounds like a domestic dispute. Respectfully, officer, it's a property dispute. It's my house. I am the sole owner. Miss Serena is a guest who was asked to leave for her own safety while I conduct emergency repairs. I have the utility work orders right here. I can email them to you. I can't have anyone in that house until it's cleared. Right? Well, ma'am, I can't force him to let you into a house that he owns and claims is unsafe. This is a civil matter. Civil? He left me to freeze. I have belongings in there. My $400 face creams are ruined. The call ended. I knew I had a window. I called a moving company, the 24/7 emergency kind. I paid triple the rate. I need a full pack and move. Today. Now. Everything in the master bedroom that's in the left side closet and the white dresser. Everything in the spare office room. Everything in the bathroom cabinets. They were there in 2 hours. I met them, let them in. The house was indeed cold and dark. While they worked, I called a locksmith and a security company. By 4 p.m., all of Serena's belongings, every last essential oil, every yoga mat, every live, laugh, love sign, were professionally packed. All of it was moved into a 10 by 15 climate-controlled storage unit. I paid for the first month. The locks on my house were changed. A new security system was installed. I sat in my warm, repaired house. The gas was on. The lights were on. The water was running. Amazing how fast emergency repairs get done when you're the one fixing them. Then I composed a text to Serena. Me, Serena, the police contacted me. I'm glad you're safe at Trisha's. The repair crews came today, but they found a lot of problems. The wiring is a mess. It's going to be a long-term project. The house is unlivable. Me, since this situation is so stressful, and you've mentioned my energy is so toxic, I've decided to respect your healing journey by giving you the ultimate safe space, your own. I've had all of your belongings professionally moved to a secure, climate-controlled storage unit. Here's the address, the unit number, and the key code. I've paid for the first month to give you time to figure out your next steps. Me. This relationship is over. You tried to evict me from my own home using therapy speak as a weapon. You called the police and lied about me. You are no longer welcome on my property. Any attempt to come here will be considered trespassing. Goodbye. I blocked her. Then I blocked Trish. Then I ordered a pizza. The real war I knew was just beginning. Update 2. The 2 weeks since StorageGate have been a masterclass in entitlement. I'd barely finished my pizza when the new offensive began. They couldn't reach my phone, so they went for my email. The first volley came from Trish. Subject: You are a sick man. Mark, Serena is having a full-blown panic attack. She's destitute because of you. She has nothing. You stole her belongings. We are going to the police tomorrow and reporting you for grand theft. You better return her things and pay her for the emotional distress you've caused, or you're gonna jail. You can't just throw a woman out. She has rights. I gotta admit, that one gave me a tremor. Jail? Grand theft? My logical brain knew it was nonsense, but the threat was still rattling. I immediately called my cousin who works in corporate law, who gave me the number of a friend who eats domestic disputes for breakfast. I had a consultation the next morning. My new lawyer, let's call him Ben, just grinned as I laid out the texts, the safe space demand, the utility shutoff, clever, if a bit dramatic, and the storage unit receipt. She wasn't a tenant, Ben said, steepling his fingers. She paid no rent, had no lease. She was a long-term guest. You gave her notice to leave, admittedly a very creative notice, and you secured her property. She has no case for illegal eviction, and it's not theft if you've given her the keys to the storage unit where all her stuff is. She's just mad she's not living for free anymore. He drafted a beautiful, terrifying letter to Serena, which I emailed to her since she was blocked everywhere else. It basically said, "Our client Mark has terminated his personal relationship with you. Your status as a guest in his private residence is revoked. Your personal property has been secured at storage facility address, with 1 month's rent paid as a courtesy. Any attempt to contact our client, his family, or his place of employment will be viewed as harassment. Any attempt to enter his property will result in immediate prosecution for criminal trespass." This was the best part. We have copies of your texts demanding he vacate his own home, which show a clear intent to seize control of the property. We are confident a judge will see this as you acting in bad faith. That same afternoon, I got a whimpering email from Serena. The bravado was gone. "Mark, please. I can't afford that storage unit. I can't find my green ceramic tray, the one my aunt gave me. Did you throw it away? It was precious. And I need money. You can't just cut me off. I have no income. How am I supposed to live? Dr. Eris says this is financial abuse." Dr. Eris, the puppet master. This therapist was the root of all this. I'd been paying his invoices. I still had them. I did a little digging. Dr. Eris was not a doctor. He wasn't an LCSW, not an MFT, not a psychologist. He was a certified spiritual counselor who got his certification from an online weekend webinar. And that green ceramic tray? I knew exactly which one she meant. It was an ugly, lopsided thing she kept on her nightstand for her energy crystals. I hadn't seen it when the movers were packing. I went to check the bedroom. There, tucked behind the nightstand, was the tray. And under it, a small, folded receipt. It was from a men's cologne brand. A very expensive one, a brand I don't wear. The charge date was from 3 weeks ago. Suddenly, the safe space demand made a whole new kind of sense. The week I was supposed to be gone, the cleansing of my energy. She wasn't just trying to evict me, she was planning to replace me. My blood went from cold to boiling. This wasn't just entitlement anymore. This was a planned cuckolding. So I took a new step. I found the Dr. Eris Spiritual Guidance business page. I found his professional email, and I sent him a little message. Subject: invoice question and a lost item. "Hello, Dr. Eris. You've been treating my now ex-girlfriend Serena. I've been paying your invoices. I'm writing because I believe there's been a mistake. Your counseling seems to have crossed a line from therapy into encouraging a hostile takeover of my home. Also, your friend, Serena, left something here. A receipt for cologne, and this ugly green tray. I have a new security system with cameras. I'm very interested to see if a spiritual guide has been making house calls. My lawyer, Ben, is also very interested. I expect you to handle this. And by handle this, I mean you need to make sure I never hear from Serena again. No legal threats, no emails, nothing. Or we'll all find out just how holistic your practice really is." I attached a photo of the receipt and the tray. I didn't expect a reply. I was wrong. Final update. The silence was, as they say, deafening. For about 48 hours. I was at my desk trying to untangle a code migration when my personal cell rang. It was Ben, my lawyer. "Mark, you're not going to believe this." "Oh God, what now?" "I just got a call, not from Serena's lawyer, from a lawyer representing a Mr. Eris, the therapist." My heart hammered. And Mr. Eris would like to resolve this amicably. His lawyer said his client is deeply concerned about Serena's instability and potential for misinterpretation of his guidance. Misinterpretation. Right, get this. Mr. Eris is generously offering to pay for Serena's storage unit for 1 full year. And he's offering you $5,000 for your trouble and emotional distress in exchange for you signing a non-disclosure agreement about him and his practice. I almost dropped the phone. The cologne receipt. That had to be it. He wasn't just her therapist, he was the guy she was buying cologne for. The safe space was for him. He was terrified of me blowing up his little healing scam. Me, Ben? Counteroffer. I don't want his $5,000. It feels dirty. Tell him I'll sign the NDA on one condition. Ben, I'm listening. I want a formal, notarized letter from Serena. In it, she must state that she was not a tenant, that she paid no rent, that her demands for me to leave were based on personal advice she now recognizes as inappropriate, and that she fully relinquishes any and all claims to my property, now and in the future. She signs that, and I'll sign Eris's NDA, and he gets to pay for her storage for the year. That's surgical, Mark. You're basically having him buy your get-out-of-jail-free card from her. He's gonna have to force her to sign it. He got her into this. He can get her out. It took a week of what I can only imagine was the world's most stressful spiritual counseling sessions. But it came, a FedEx package with a notarized, ironclad letter from Serena, hitting every single point I demanded. Her signature was shaky. I signed the NDA for Eris. I felt nothing, just tired. The final loose end was Trish. She hadn't gotten the memo. She was still on the warpath. She couldn't email me, so she tried to find me on a professional networking site, sending me a message. I see you, you snake, hiding behind your lawyers. Serena is broken. I hope you're happy. Just know, everyone knows what you did. You're a cold, abusive coward. I looked at the message. I thought about the cologne receipt. I thought about the safe space lie. I replied with just one attachment, a scanned copy of the notarized letter Serena had signed where she explicitly admitted everything. Her reply 20 minutes later, oh, she's blocked me now. So, that's it. It's over. I'm out thousands for Ben's time, for the movers, for the locksmiths, for the security system. My house feels empty. I'm constantly checking the new security cameras. I jump when the heat clicks on. I don't feel like a winner. I don't feel justice was served. I just feel like I survived a hurricane that I invited into my own home. I was a fool for letting it go on so long, for paying for the rope she was using to hang me. Last night, I took the ugly green tray and the cologne receipt, and I put them in my barbecue. I lit a match and watched them burn until they were just black flakes. It's not a healing journey, but I guess it's a start.